again to Keystone Film Review. We just saw The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. Yes. Directed by Guy Ritchie, based on the book by Damian Lewis. It is starring Henry Cavill. Yes.
Yeah.
Alan Ritchson. Yes. Alex Pettyfer. Yes. Isaac Gonzalez. Yes. This is a very loosely based on history film that's also based on the book that probably exaggerated the majority of it, about Operation Postmaster. Is that what it was?
Postmaster.
Which was an operation in World War II where a bunch of renegade soldiers tried to
steal the Declaration of Independence.
Yes, blow up a not U-boat, but a ship that stocked U-boats for many, many months.
Yes.
With being directed by Ritchie, of course, it is highly stylized.
Greer Ritchie.
Did I say Greer? Yeah. Guy Ritchie. I'm sorry, I can't talk right now. I'm drunk on popcorn. But yeah, it's highly stylized. Definitely made to be more entertaining than what the actual history was, and it never claims to be 100% faithful to the real story. But yeah, how did it plan out as a movie? You, Mr. Wanting to marry Henry Cavill.
Oh, and Henry Golding and Alan Ritchson. Oh, God, those bastards.
Yes.
I was extremely excited for this movie. I love...
To the point, might I add, where when we thought this and Civil War came out at the same time, you dared to ask me which I would rather see.
Yeah. Which I mean,
fair.
Yeah.
I wanted to see Civil War more. You wanted to see this more. Good thing we didn't have to choose.
We got to see Mr. Dunst and Mr. Cavill. Different weeks.
Yes.
But yeah, I was excited for this movie. The cast is pretty stacked. And also Guy Ritchie movies are just genuine fun to just be a part of. I actually haven't watched many of his movies lately. I think since Man of Uncle, or Man from Uncle, I could be wrong.
You didn't see The Gentleman?
I did not.
Gentleman's pretty good. He has been, hit and miss for a while. Obviously, the early 2000s, you had Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, Snatch, pretty much the same movie. Whichever one you saw first, you like more. I saw Snatch first. And then he, did a few blockbuster movies. Nothing wrong with that. You got to make your money. And kind of fell by the wayside a bit as far as, the movies he has made and the quality of movies he's made. But I feel like he's starting to get back into it. The Gentleman was pretty good. It was more his style than, Aladdin, so to speak.
Did he do Aladdin?
He did do Aladdin.
Live
action remake. And then this is more his style as well. Man from Uncle is kind of his style, but I feel like it was very influenced by the studio, personally speaking.
Probably. I really enjoyed The Man from Uncle. And so let's see how this one did in comparison.
Yeah.
I honestly think I'd have to rewatch. I did rewatch it recently, but The Man from Uncle I watched, and I really fucking enjoyed it. I actually think personally that this was better, if not on par with that for me. But that's me saying it as me liking it more. You probably like
I
this
didn't
one
really
more.
care about Man from Uncle. I've only seen it once. I'm willing to give it a reshot, but I remember being disappointed when I watched it.
Yeah.
That was, 10 years ago? It's been a long time.
It's been, yeah.
So I don't want what I say to be like, that's definitely how I feel about
stone.
10 years ago, I was disappointed. So as of now, I did enjoy this more. I also just like World War II history more.
They're always just
as outlandish as this was. It was based on an actual operation that happened, and just kind of made it, for lack of a better word, fun. Because war is not fun. I've heard.
Contrary to belief.
I've never been in war. Don't really want to be in war, and I hear it's not fun though.
Yeah.
So, this made it fun.
Yeah, this made it fun.
And I absolutely love the characters in this. You have Alan Ritchson as a Danish man who is just...
loves his butter knives.
He loves killing people. You have Henry Cavill as the kind of kooky captain of the crew. And, everyone has their personality, which is what I feel like Guy Ritchie does really well, is he separates his characters really well and gives them distinct personalities, and I just love the way they meshed together.
Yeah, oh my god, that crew had so much. They had to have so much fun together. There's no way they didn't. That's what I like about Guy Ritchie movies, is that his movies just even if some of them probably aren't that actually good, most of them have to be fun.
Yeah.
One way or another. Like, you're probably going to have some fun watching those movies. I don't know about Aladdin. I can't speak for that one. But this one, however, I had a lot of fun with this one. The cast was fantastic. Everyone, too. Not just, like, the main little renegade crew, but, like, everybody. What was his name? What was his character's name? Heron and Marguerite. They were great together. The German general, I want to say he was. I don't know if they.
Til Schweiger. We forgot about Til Schweiger.
He was great, menacing as always.
Yeah.
Guy's got the face. I don't know if anybody. He could either be fucking Doomslayer. You probably won't. Doomslayer or Wolfenstein. Every time I see that guy, I'm like, he's got to play one of those.
Except for in SLC Punk, when he's just kind of a lovable German drug dealer.
Yeah, of course. Just his face, man.
Yeah.
It just gives it. Anyway, moving on to the actual movie. The plot was fun. Obviously, not for many of the German people that died or anybody else in any of that war.
Who cares about the Nazis?
The
I care about
Nazis.
everyone else, but not the Nazis.
But yeah, I mean, I had a lot of fun. Everybody was great in this movie.
I feel like a lot of focus, and rightfully so, is on the European fronts and the Western front of the European front too, not so much even the Eastern front. I feel like something that's often overlooked in World War II is all of the campaigns that happened in Africa, and there's a lot that happened in Africa. So to see even like a highly fictionalized version of something that happened in Africa was extremely cool to see. You had the I believe, I could be wrong, I believe it was on the Ivory Coast, German occupied Ivory Coast. I could be wrong about that. And seeing like the African people that lived there kind of helping the Brits and doing what they could to stop those goddamn Nazis.
Damn Nazis.
It was just cool to see. It's a side of the war you rarely see. I would love more, as obviously important the invasion of Normandy is and everything. We have enough movies about the invasion of Normandy.
We kind of do.
Mainly because that's pretty much, it's not the only thing Americans took part in, but we have Americans making movies about the 3 years that America was in the war, versus, the entirety of the rest of the war.
Yeah.
So it's and that's not to diminish what the Americans did, obviously, but it's just don't let people coming at me. Both my grandfathers fought in World War II, so it's just cool to see different aspects of it. We all can learn from learning.
Learn and yearn.
Even if it's from a highly fictionalized version where they're just nonchalantly walking down the beach shooting Nazis, which is fun to watch, but I highly doubt that that's how it happened.
Maybe a little more sneakily.
But yeah, really, really fun movie. My biggest complaint about it, as much as I love Rory Kinnear, probably the worst Churchill. Look-wise. His voice was good, but looks-wise, he was so obviously in a lot of prosthetics.
Where the hell was Gary Oldman, man?
Where was Gary Oldman? One of the best Churchills.
He should just keep doing I didn't even watch his Churchill movie. He should just keep being Churchill.
It's really
man.
good. You should watch it.
I bet.
But yeah, I love Rory Kinnear. Vocal performance and body language wise, it was good. It's just the makeup for me was not there. Took me out of it every time he was on screen.
His face. His face was a little flatter. Usually, like the prosthetics. Do like a good.
And that's just because it's Rory Kinnear's face that they just added prosthetics to. But like it would have been. It just took me out of it. I know most people aren't going to care about that, but it took me out of it. While I was watching, I was like, those are Rory Kinnear's eyes, not Winston Churchill's eyes.
He is in a good chunk of scenes too. So
yeah.
It's not like you can just.
And he also kind of looked a little bit more like Orson Welles than he did Churchill. So the entire time I was like, is he going to talk about Citizen Kane? Is that what we're doing here? Or is he going to be drunk selling wine? But yeah, other than that, I really enjoyed it. It's not mind blowing, but it was a fun time.
The action, I don't think we really talked about like the specific action.
Satisfying.
The action scenes are really satisfying.
Yeah.
Everything.
Mainly just watching Nazis get killed.
Alan Richson's, I fucking hate that he doesn't have an ensign at the end.
Yeah, Richson.
Richson. His scenes were so fucking brutal because he's just up close and stabby.
It made me want to watch his Jack Reacher show. Like
it is really
I had no interest in watching it until I watched this. I'm like, maybe I'll give it a shot. Also, and I don't really like TV shows that much. So
Reacher is. I didn't watch the second season yet. Reacher's really good. He's really good in it.
I'm just really glad that he came out of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles scene.
Well, what I'm about to say is that a little bit of Thad Castle from Blue Mountain State came out in the beginning of this movie. I love a higher pitched Alan Ritchson voice. And he's like, "Oh, hello, fellas."
Yeah, his Swedish accent.
It was so nice to see a little bit of that again.
But yeah, it's you know, he kind of had like a bad time with Hollywood with how the whole Michael Bay Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles thing happened. So I'm glad that he came out on top of it.
I'm so glad he's coming out full swing now too.
Yeah.
Everybody's people want him to be Batman huge. So bad right now too, and he's like, I would love to. Sign me up.
Yeah.
Yes. I'll take it. Please.
I like him. I'd see him.
Yeah.
As long as they keep making the Robert Pattinson ones, just because I like the.
Oh yeah, they said that.
I'm fine with keeping them separate. I'm not one of these people that like everything needs to be connected. Keep them separate.
Make them all their own better movies.
Yeah. I don't have too much else to say. You got anything else before we get into ratings? Okay.
Pretty much it.
Ratings wise, I'm probably going to give this a nice 3.5. I am leaning more a 4, but I feel like it just needed a little bit more, maybe a little more gel for Winston Churchill to make it a 4, but I'm going to give it a 3.5.
I gave Man from U.N.C.L.E. a 4, and I still don't know whether it's on par or better. Yeah. I'm just going to give it a 4 to be safe for now. I do want to get it a 4.5, but I don't know if it completely deserves the 4.5, really. Or maybe I'm just being too generous to give it that 4.5. But for now, it's going to be a 4, just like Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Yeah, and of course, those might change.
Who knows?
Ratings are fluid.
I definitely love this movie a lot, and we'll definitely probably see it again.
I often change ratings after I rewatch them, so who knows? But yeah, that's what we thought of the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare.
Actually, I will say, that's the only thing I hate about the movie.
I wish it was
It's a fun name, but it's a fucking terrible name.
Yes, it sets up exactly what it is.
Yeah.
But I forget it every time I'm about to say it.
I just say that Henry Cavill movie.
The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. Tell us what you thought down in the comments. Do you want Guy Ritchie to make more movies where people freeze and they show their name, and then you have Brad Pitt doing a weird accent that even the people from the area he's supposed to be in are just like, what the fuck are you saying, Brad Pitt?
I think you should probably stay away from the freeze frame names. I think too many people.
That's a very. I mean, he started that, but people definitely
use it way too much now.
So I was kind of glad that they didn't do that in this. But yes, let us know what you thought down in the comments, and we will talk to you about another movie next time.
Yeah. Cutie patootie.
Goodbye.